keynote session. And we're very fortunate to have with us today, who has flown in from Miami, Dr. Luis Noguerol, who is an Information Systems Security Officer within the U.S. Department of Commerce, for NOAA, so here representing, within the federal government. So Dr. Noguerol is one of the most, we're so fortunate to have him, as he's one of the most foremost global authorities in cybersecurity and advanced technologies. Over 41 years of experience, leadership, and President and Chief Executive Officer of ADIT USA, Information Systems Security Officer at the United States Department of Commerce for the Southeast region. He holds 107 top information and cybersecurity certifications. He won the gold medal in the 2012 Global Hacker Halted Olympic competition. He placed first in the 2023 Indo-Pacific Hacking competition and was named Worldwide Chief Information Security Officer of the Year in 2016. His career really combines innovation, leadership, and operational capability in highly complex environments. So he's very well positioned as a key voice in shaping digital security, technological sovereignty, and the protection of democracies in the 21st century. So we're very fortunate, and as if we could continue go on and sing your praises, Doctor. He's also an accomplished author with several titles to his name. So I'm not going to steal any more of his thunder, but I do want to have a very warm welcome for Dr. Luis as he takes us through in this robust session, Encrypted but Exposed, how post-quantum ready enterprises are quietly leaking their crown jewels in plain sight. So please, round of applause.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's lunchtime, probably, I don't know. Before anything, I want to express my admiration for the previous presenters. I really enjoy every single presentation. This is a slightly different topic, and I want to clarify from the beginning that it's zero pretension from my end to be offensive, because I will be probably contradicting some point of view from the technical standpoint exclusively, okay? So people have different personalities. If you say 2 + 2 = 4, I will not be sleeping until I corroborate that by myself. This is me. And all my books, I have 6 books in Amazon, are going against everybody. VPNs are secure. I have a different perspective, okay? So again, it's a technical opinion. It's nothing against any of the sponsors in particular. I have been in the government for 20 years, close to 21. I was for 7 years at the FBI, and I have been in my current position for the last 14. Lucky person. Unique opportunities. The topic is, from my standpoint, interesting. I hear the word mythos multiple times in the previous presenters, at least 3 times. The last presentation from Tom was about mythos, and I want to start by using a different word. The topic is basically quantum computing, but this is the first thing I want to use. I don't want to use the word mythos, I want to use the word dogmas. There are multiple dogmas in IT, in general terms, and cyber as well, because we are moving to cyber, about quantum, okay? So one of those dogmas are, I'm not going to repeat everything that is in the screen. I just want to use the slide deck as a reference, but there are multiple things that really doesn't work in real life, as everybody said. And this is why I prefer to use the word dogmas, okay? I believe that there is a little separation from my standpoint between academia and what is happening in the real life. And I'm going to use 2 examples as a reference. We have been growing up. We have been attending to the university, graduating with a bachelor, associate, master, even a doctoral degree by repeating TCP/IP. In reality, it's not TCP/IP, it's IP/TCP. But I know that telling you this, for the majority of you, is an atrocity, because we grow up by listening TCP/IP. From my standpoint as a learner, if you say TCP IP, I have the perception that the TCP worked before the IP. From the telecommunication standpoint exclusively and only, not from the application standpoint. From the telecommunication standpoint, this is a lie. Okay? IP worked before TCP. Again, I'm talking about dogmas in general terms, and this is my example number one. The other dogma is, and this is even more complex, that VPNs are secure. Please, VPNs are not secure. It's not. It's not a true statement, but we grow up and we use VPNs at the government, in the military bases, etc. So dogmas and dogmas. So one of the most important dogmas related to quantum is that the computers can decrypt something in terms of hours, and not years and years. Is this a reality? Somehow it is. Yes, it is. We cannot deny the facts, okay? But it doesn't happen at the speed we think. And when I say about academia, one of my major concerns is that academia is explaining or trying to explain multiple things by using online data. And using online data, this is okay. Using AI, I have a slide dedicated to AI exclusively. This is why I made the clarification that my technical comments are not against any of the AI solutions. We are moving to AI. 20 years ago, in 2012, we began moving to cloud, and nobody wants to hear the word cloud. After that, everybody became fascinated with cloud, and now everybody wants to be in the cloud. The same is going to happen with AI. This is not going to be the last topic in IT, in general terms, for the next 50 years. It's not going to be, okay? I'm not trying to forecast the future, but I'm doing this for 42 years, as many of you. And 42 is a little bit of time. So be ready for something after AI. But today, the topic is AI. And we have to approach the topic because it's here to stay. It's a wonderful solution. It's a set of solutions. And it also brings a lot of problems. So as I said, if you say 2 plus 2 to me is equal 4, you have me on it because I'm going to find out why it's not 5. This is what I'm trying to do here as well. Okay? So let me move down. I just want to mention 2 things. I'm sorry, I'm separating from the microphone because my phone. Okay. So quantum is coming. Quantum is here. I'm going to explain you why. We already have quantum technologies in USA. Those technologies are not usually public known, but quantum exists. And this conference is more about cyber. Okay, so how we relate that to the cyber topic? The other thing is, and this is the most important thing, cryptography. Almost every single time we hear about quantum, we say cryptography. Cryptography is important, yes it is. It is important to keep the data safe. Oh, this is another conceptual problem from academia. Data, I'm going to ask you a question, but it's not a question, it's a comment. If I ask you to create or to define, the room is full of experts, which I know, but if you ask a regular engineer to define data or information, most likely they are going to use both words in the same sentence. Data is something different from information. So we have to encrypt, yes. Is a practical way? Yes. Is an expensive way? Yes, it is. Okay, but the misperception, the dogma is that if you encrypt, you are secure. Don't repeat what Google said, because this is not the true statement. This is not how things are happening in real life. I enjoy every single previous presentation, and I really value the presentation from John. Okay? Mikkelsen, because he approached the topic from the practical standpoint. So encrypting is okay, yes. Cryptography have the ability to decrypt everything? somehow, quantum, somehow. But the point is that I want to put in perspective what is happening from the practical standpoint, okay? So those are some dogmas, again, technical dogmas, everybody repeat, and the difference between mythos and dogmas is that dogmas is what happens when you go to the school or you grow up by someone telling you the TCP work before the IP. But take it easy. It doesn't happen in real life. Okay, it happens in books. In books, yes. In PowerPoint, great. But in real life, from the telco standpoint exclusively, not from the host standpoint, not from the user perspective, the IP happens first. So I don't know why we keep telling TCP IP and not IP TCP. It's not something I'm going to resolve and I got it. I'm not trying to do that. This is obvious, right? But again, those are few dogmas related to quantum specifically. Now, the illusion of security, basically on the left side, you have what I call the negative, and in the right side, in all the slides, you have what I call the positive or recommendations, okay? There is nothing in black and white, there are just opinions, nothing else, okay? So we have multiple things here. You will be having access to the slide deck if you like, okay? So I just want to cover the first one in the left, which for me is the negative, timing signature. Listen, everything that is signature-based have a substantial problem because signatures get outdated frequently and often and super quickly, okay? So I don't like the signature perspective for anything. So we have another component. Now we are integrating or trying to migrate everything to the cloud. We are trying to keep things on a hybrid environment for multiple reasons. Probably one of the main reasons that nobody wants to say, but it's the reality, is the budget part, concerns about what happens if I change my mind in the next 5 years. Getting out of the cloud will be a problem. This is not going to be a problem. It's going to be impossible, guys. When you move to the cloud, you are in the cloud. You can bring your operation back? Yes, you can. But probably your company will be fighting you 250 times in 1 minute. Because when you move, you are in the cloud. Okay? Multiple convenience, and everything has pros and cons in IT. Nothing in IT is perfect. The perfect technology never exists. And it's never going to happen. Okay? Even people that goes to NASA, the Starlink program, have going through accidents, and this is going to continue. So it's similar here, okay? So, but with the migration to the cloud, there is a lot of telemetry that we are generating. And the topic of quantum, again, most likely is recognized by encryption. Everybody wants to encrypt. Encrypt, encrypt, and encrypt. The data, everybody knows in this room, can only be at 3 stages, right? And those stages are rest, use, and transit. I have a question. I don't expect anybody to respond to anything. You do your best effort, invest all the money you have available for cyber in your end, and you encrypt the data at the 3 stages. Rest, use, and transit. The question is, what happens when your data arrive to the recipient side? Are they doing the same effort that you are putting and investing money on to have access to your data? Probably not. So in other words, there is a point from the telecommunication standpoint in where you lost the control over your data. When your data is out, and I mean, when I say out, I mean is arriving to the recipient place, you don't know what happened with your data. Is there any possibilities to avoid that? If you know any solution that do this, let me know. There is a solution made in India and another one in Brunei that have this capability, but we cannot use that in US. It's strictly forbidden by the US government. So in other words, you invest in encrypting, at the end, you don't know what happened with the money. Because when your data that you encrypt is highly regulated, HIPAA, or you name it, goes to the other side, you don't know what happened in the other side. And this is one of the problems with the telemetry part, okay? So the other consideration about quantum is, or the kind of security we are using today, including AI, is that we are encrypting the payload. This is what we encrypt. Everybody knows about the TCP and the IP headers. Theoretical info, right? This is a crappy thing. When we go to the school, when I teach that to my students, they want to kill me, nobody pay attention. TCP header, watch this shit. Nobody pay attention to that. So what we encrypt in real life is the payload. If somebody knows something different, don't wait for me to finish, you raise your hand. But from the telecommunication standpoint, you encrypt the payload data, nothing else. So this is another big problem because we are still having the perception that by encrypting data, we are encrypting everything we need, okay? This is not what happened in real life. So this is a consideration to keep in mind. The other consideration about quantum is that we are trying to protect the content, and we have been trying to protect content for the last 50 years. The content is our data. This is what we focus on it. But quantum is more than that. It's about protecting context, not content. Content is the initial thing that you have to protect. Yes, it is. It's important. It's the foundation of the protection in the quantum computing stage. And we are here. We are already using quantum. As I say, I'm going to show you at the end something, just a picture, three pictures. So we are using quantum already, okay? But protecting the content only doesn't resolve the problem for the quantum computer age. And again, the quantum computer age is here. We are using quantum at the government. I'm going to make a parenthesis and clarify something about quantum computing. Quantum computing is not handled in any country, by the private sector. Okay? The US, and this is the three pictures I'm going to show you at the end, have a formal commission for quantum. The same happened with another 41 countries. We began with 37. In the last 2 years, we have 4 countries that are incorporated officially to the IEEE organization. Those are the people that regulate quantum. This is why when you talk about quantum, we do not have a quantum symbol as of yet. Everybody repeat what is in Google qubit. What a qubit is. Do you know if the definition is going to change? Probably not, but most likely it's going to change because I am part of the commission of the terminology for quantum. This is what I'm going to show you at the end. So there are multiple things happening, but we have to be quantum ready for now or from now. And the majority of the cases, we are not doing that. We all work in cyber for years, or IT. We always try to resolve the problem we have today. Today I have a problem. Okay, one of the user's account was probably compromised or confirmed compromised, and we have to solve that. When one particular server goes down, we have to fix that. If the internet click, we have to fix it, etc. The other things are happening, and we are not, when I say we, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about everybody, almost everybody, okay? It's not about you. This is why I made the initial clarification. So in the other side, the positive, I cannot see well here, so I'm going to move down again. Because I want to highlight 3 topics. For the people selling, people organizations, selling AI and cloud as the savior of the world. Try to work with solutions when you are doing your sales effort. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. You have to be, you need to consider that there are multiple things coming in the next 10 years that are not going to be AI related. The technology is still moving, we are still progressing, and we are technology dependent. We all are technology dependent. This dependency is going to increase, it's normal, it's expected. This is what is moving forward, pushing the world forward. We cannot stop that, okay? But I want to make some comments in here the timing signature. In the left side, you have the timing signature with the different approach. Identity trails, cloud telemetry. And I want to stop. In the 3, this is, if I go back, in the 3, I use quantum, it's only about cryptography, a dogma. In the 3 here, is cloud telemetry. Because you are operating in the cloud, it doesn't mean that you are not securing the channel as you need. And I'm going to explain you why with some particular examples. Okay? We have authentication graph. Every single time that you use artificial intelligence, and again, don't try to kill me. This is why I say that I'm not trying to, this is not about AI solutions. It's about the practical things happening in real life, okay? It's nothing about AI, but there are multiple solutions that say, we are not collecting your data, or we are masquerading or tokenizing your data. You are collecting my data because I'm ingesting all my data to your AI tools. Otherwise, your AI tools doesn't work. So AI means collection of data. We don't like it, the terminology is fine, but you are collecting my data. Oh, you can probably masquerade. This is a different conversation. What you masquerade today can be reversed in the next few years. And there are multiple companies that everybody knows, data brokers, that the only business they are in is in collecting data. What kind of data? Encrypted. Why? Because you are putting the effort in encrypting data, and your efforts are good. The other people are just waiting for the opportunity. For the moment that quantum have the opportunity to decrypt what you have been spending, I don't know how many millions of dollars or money in general terms, in encrypting. So this is coming. There are people in the business of collecting encrypted data. Without any use today, they are going to use it in the future. Nobody spend money for no reasons, okay? So, 2 considerations. When you talk about quantum, you have to consider that everything that you use today can be harvested. If you harvest today, you can correlate tomorrow. This is what is going to happen. This is happening. Okay, there are multiple countries, no problems, that are working on that in cooperation with USA. I'm going to give you 2 examples. China and US, we cooperate together, we work together. What you see in TV, this is TV news. Okay, from the research standpoint, we work with China. I have been in China, okay? And we work together. China is part of the 41 countries, was part of the 37 initial countries. So this is an observation, okay? You encrypt today, I don't have access to the real data, just to the encrypted data. It's fine, tomorrow is another day. And tomorrow is going to be Friday? Saturday? Friday. Okay, if you don't like that tomorrow is going to be Friday, good luck, because it's going to be Friday. The same happens with your data. Okay, so this is going to be correlated. And the last consideration from this particular topic of the illusion of security is the future attack surface is not the encrypted payload. This is what we encrypt today. So it's going to be about context around the data. Every single time I hear something again, I repeat that multiple times. I don't want to be offensive. I do not. When you say that your solution doesn't create locks, this is a hard thing to hear. Every single time is a hardware problem. It's not a solution problem. Every single time that you interrupt the CPU with an IRQ, the IRQ generates a lock. This is not about solutions or blaming on solutions. It's not about AI, okay? You ask for something, the computer call the process, call through an IRQ to the CPU, and the CPU have to generate a lock. It's similar to everything that is in RAM memory. You turn off the computer and it's gone. Really? No, man, don't say that. You can turn off the computer and keep the information in RAM. In RAM memory. So random access memory, every single book says you turn off, the data disappears. The data doesn't go to anywhere. okay, you have the ability to recover that data. Again, this is academia thing, it's not something that we can expand too much. So those are few considerations about the illusion of cybersecurity or data security in the quantum or from the quantum standpoint. The breach already happened. I'm going to ask you for a question. We love to say, and I love to say as well, that we are using preventive tool, proactive. We have been proactive. This is another hardware thing. When you see something, when your tool has the ability to detect something, it's because this something already happened. Otherwise, there is no possibilities for that. Now, you can be preventive, you can be proactive when you correlate data and you can make or estimate what is going to happen. This is being proactive from the technical standpoint. But we have something in the back end, which is the hardware. The hardware operates in a different manner. Okay? So we cannot modify the way that the hardware operates because the hardware imposes limitations and gives off some privilege. Similar happens when it comes to the mass collection. And this is one of the biggest problems when we talk about quantum, because again, we are protecting, encrypting the data, but quantum is not about encryption only. This is the misperception, or one of the dogmas, okay? So the bad people are just harvesting data. I don't have access to the content, it's okay. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. So it's just a matter of waiting, okay? And we have the other component, telemetry. Oh, I'm protecting my communication from every single standpoint. I'm using the best solution in the planet. Before me, I believe that all the speakers say in one or another way, cybersecurity is that, is defense in depth. Okay? So the best solution in the planet doesn't exist. All technical solutions have fallacies. All technical solutions have failures. And if not, they are going to fail. Everybody knows the laws, okay? So remember the laws that somebody say, this guy was drinking 200 years ago, and he say, if something may fail, it's going to fail. Okay, this is the same, okay? So authentication creates metadata, and the metadata have the opportunity to be graph. Metadata is graph today. When you deploy an AI agent, and we are moving to agentic, this is another problem. So again, I'm approaching the conversation from the negative part. The positive, everybody knows. Okay? I don't want to focus on positive things because everybody knows the positive. This is why we use it. The SaaS solution, SaaScom, popular in the last probably 20 years, less than 20 years, and it have been very useful. Artificial intelligence assists correlation, dramatically amplified intelligence extraction. You deploy something artificial intelligence related, and yes, you can close your security operation center because now the AI solution has the ability to replace 20 people from your security operation center. And politically speaking, you can say, oh, that human beings are always needed. No, man. No. In the future, we will not be needing more human power than AI power. Unfortunate. I'm not forecasting the future because I'm not into that, but it's going to happen, okay? So the typical cybersecurity analyst that is still repeating that TCP worked before IP, it's not going to be needed. It's going to be needed in another way with another academic preparation, okay? So there is a strategic thing that includes from the mass collection standpoint, everything that happened at the network level, clouds, endpoints, application, and everything that you have on mind. So everything has to be part of the same cake. You cannot separate or keep separating things in IT because quantum is superior to that. AI is superior to that. We are moving to another stage that is unknown for the majority of us, but we are moving to this place. So I mentioned that before, harvest now, decrypt later, is incomplete because it's not happening. The perception is quantum doesn't exist, even when some companies are selling solutions that say, we are post-quantum ready. Wow, this is a very strong assessment. So you are post-quantum ready? The question becomes how you test your quantum algorithms. No, seriously. I have two algorithms in the patent office that I created by myself. One of them have been in test by NASA. Those are my algorithms, probably piece of crap algorithms, but they work. But we have a problem, or I have a problem. They ask me for testing the algorithms. How the crap I'm going to test something that I'm just putting in paper? I create mathematical equations, and this is what I send for a patent, but it doesn't mean that the algorithms are going to work as I said in paper. One thing is in paper, the other thing is in a simulation environment, and the other one is when you test in real life. So we are not at this stage, but we are coming. So a topic here to keep in mind, correlation doesn't require decryption. It's just data at a scale. We are encrypting content, no context. Everything we do generate digital traces. It's a logical IT conclusion. Hardware generate logs. Nothing that you can masquerade the logs, yes. You can do anything you want with the logs, yes. Logs by default are raw data, etc., etc. You can protect the logs, yes, but you are collecting data. Otherwise, the hardware doesn't work. We have the perception, in multiple cases, that the hardware works in the way we like. The hardware is the papi Ricky. The hardware handles the equation. You can have multiple tasks open in Windows, to say something, okay? Because in Windows 3.1, 1995 or close, the hardware allows you to do that. When I began working in IT 42 years ago, we have no color computer, monochromatic, no hard drive, floppy disk, 8 inches. So the hardware doesn't let you do million things. And this is when we lost the sight. No, my application can do, your application can do whatever you said, but the hardware work in a different manner. And if you hit, there is an electrical pulse that is going to be logged. And I don't want to talk about this topic because everybody knows, in the room everybody knows about IT. Otherwise, you will not be here. But I'm just going to ask a question. Again, no response from anybody. I don't expect that. It's not binary. Zeros and ones. Man, are you talking serious? This is what you have in the outlet. Zeros and ones. The computers do not work with zeros and ones. The logic gates work with zeros and ones. Yes. Which is an analogy. What you have in the outlet is electricity. Okay? So the question is, how much is a one? How many volt is in a one? Electrical volt. This is what you get in the outlet. When you put the cable on it, you are getting electricity there. So everybody says zeros and ones is digital. Oh, it is digital, yes. How many volts do you have in a zero? And how many in a one? This is an interesting topic from the quantum standpoint and from the technical standpoint as well. Okay? So those are a few considerations interesting about this. Now, the concept of harvest node, correlate, got it. I turn off. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, this is one of the main concepts related to the quantum problem, okay? So again, we are encrypting, we are using AI, we are generating traces because there is no other way to operate. And the business is, just let me keep for now to the moment that I have the technology to decrypt, and again, the data brokers are in this business. I'm going to give you one name that probably you remember, Data Analytics from England. You remember that? This company? Okay. So we talk about the dark web, and the dark web is super complicated, right? To monitor, the dark web is 3 steps away, only 3. You download, in the easiest way, you download the Onion browser, and you are in the, you do one command, just one, and you are in the dark web. And then you can buy passport and credit cards. Why we are not monitoring the dark web? When I say we, I'm talking about a great number of organizations, because the complexity, no, it's not that complex, but we are not focusing on this type of things. So, a consideration here, is every single time that you create an incident response plan, the incident response plan is in paper, right? Yes or no? When you create a network diagram, it's on paper. Or, when I say I'm sorry, I don't use paper. It's in electronic format. You are leaving traces everywhere. You protect the network diagram, do it. Is the appropriate way to move forward? Of course it is. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you are not leaving digital traces behind. And this is what the problem is. Okay, so other consideration is the privileged access relationship. We have multiple vendors in the vendors venue today that approach the problem of access control one or another way. This is fascinating. Access control, you don't need to go to Harvard to find out that access control is the most important control out of everything in cybersecurity, or forget about cybersecurity, in terms of data protection, okay? In how many of your offices people have access to the server room? Don't say anything. I'm doing this for 42 years. So from the practical standpoint, don't tell me that you have more physical security than my building in Washington or whatever it is, because probably it's not true. You have biometric, we do as well. Can you bypass biometric? Yes, you do. Sometimes you have to do manually, okay? Because what are you going to do? Preventing people from coming or walking to the building because the system is down? In reality, this is not how we work. If the system is down, the authentication system, okay, we are going to bring down this part of the system and everybody have to go to the office. If you have to go to the office, telework is a different problem from my standpoint, just bigger, and when it comes to quantum, even more complicated, because quantum again is here, okay? So the other thing, operational tempo. Everything we do must happen at a particular moment of time. We cannot stop time. We cannot simulate that we are stopping the timer. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. You like it or not? So in IT, hardware-based, no applications, every single process needs to be done at a particular moment because this is what the IRQ do with the CPU. So the only way you have to do something different in IT is that you don't work with computers. Because the one at the end, the supervisor of the system, everybody knows that. This is obvious, 7th grade. It's the CPU. Of course, with everybody around. So if you are using the CPU, then you have a timer. No exceptions. And the timer is complicated, the problem from the quantum standpoint. Because you are collecting, I cannot see what happened at a particular moment, but I know that something happened. I'm collecting that. And when I have the chance, I'm going to open the collection I have, and I will be able to retrieve what happened. So everything lives. Digital trace and everything is associated with a particular time. There is no exceptions, zero. IT is easy. Math is easy. People doesn't like math at the university. I don't know why. This is the simple subject in the planet. A complicated subject is history. What happened with Abraham Lincoln in 1957, September 17 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Who the crap knows that? No, seriously. But science is simple. It's pretty simple. You do something, you have a timer, and you have a lock. Even if you don't see the lock is there. Now, how you access to the lock is a different conversation. And this is when quantum comes and artificial intelligence as well. When you hear the previous presenters and what is going to be presented in the afternoon, oh, okay, my solution do this, and that. And of course, AI is fantastic. It is fantastic, but it has some flaws as well. As cybersecurity expert, we have to focus on the negative part. Because again, when I wrote the VPN book, and I'm not selling you the book in any ways, I'm using that as an example, okay? It's the only book in the planet that approaches the VPN exclusively from the negative standpoint, because VPNs cannot be bypassed. I bypassed the VPN security for Bank of China in front of everybody. In front of everybody. Bank of China invited me to do that, and I did it. Public record. It's not something I'm telling you, it's everywhere, okay? So, if you do something, digital trace exists and is associated to a particular timer. this is something you cannot avoid in technology. In the positive side,
I need it for the people online. They can't hear you.
thank you so much. Okay, from the positive side, or in the positive side, we have the sensitive project ownership. We go to a meeting, we keep the door closed, people are selected to go to the meeting, we take some notes, Teams, Zoom, you name it. Have some particular type of security measures on it, but at the end, you are keeping that in a digital format today, okay? So it can be correlated. Communication graph allows you to, at the end, see everything that is happening in your ecosystem. About 10 years, I don't remember exactly when, the word ecosystem became very popular in IT. Because this is what we like to do. We like terminology. 10 years back, ecosystem. Now it's AI. Probably later it's going to be quantum, and I don't know what is coming after quantum. I have no idea. Okay? But it's coming, something different is coming because the technology progress is not going to stop with AI. So we do not reach the end of the world as of yet. Okay? Something is coming after AI. You can be sure for that. The other thing is the dependency maps. Tools, platforms, and third-party services create a dependency fingerprint of the enterprise. This is not going to happen. My solution doesn't collect data. Of course you are collecting data. Of course. Otherwise the solution doesn't work. How you can make a determination that something is happening in your environment? If you are not collecting, you are collecting every single kind of data. This is why you say, my solution is top of the line. Just do the POC. Don't trust me. Just do the POC, okay? In 2 hours, we will be finding how your environment flow from the data standpoint. Yeah, of course, you are just, you are learning about my environment. I'm teaching your tool, by the way, and I'm sharing my data with you. When I say you, I'm talking about the AI solution, okay? I'm not talking about a particular solution. So this is the other consideration. So when quantum have some benefit, quantum system process massive correlations exponentially faster. Weak signals become strong intelligence, and the hidden becomes visible. The futures become known. So I have something here in the back. Again, if you find something interesting in the PowerPoint, you will be able to access to that. Okay, they will be giving you a copy of the PowerPoint, but this is the most important thing. At the end of the graphic, collect, correlate, model, predict, influence. Future adversaries will apply quantum assist correlation models against decades of data collection efforts and encryption. And the other point is the organizations become operationally transparent long before the encryption fails. Everything we do leave digital trace. Everybody knows that. I know. Everybody knows that. But this is concerning to me, that we have the perception that because we do something, we can eliminate the digital traces. Everybody knows that when something goes to the internet, they stay there. Everybody knows about the 13 root domain servers in the planet. There are not 20, there is only 13. 13 only, that's it. Okay? So there are reasons for that. And again, the hardware works in a different manner. But I have another question. Ask a developer from your team how the solution they are developing work in conjunction with the hardware. Ask this question to anybody in your team. Okay, the hardware operates in a different manner. Applications work in top of the hardware and not vice versa. Not. No exceptions. It's science. It's simple. Okay? So this is the other consideration here. Again, in the left side, if you are going to ask for the deck, the slide deck, usually I put the negative, and in the right, what can remediate, not remediate. In cyber, we don't talk about remediation. We talk about minimization, how you can minimize things, how you can deal with the problems in the left side. Something that I also dislike from the terminology standpoint, I'm going to eliminate this particular threat from my system. Who told you that you are going to eliminate anything from the system? you are going to multiply by 0 at this particular moment, a snapshot, this particular threat from your system. Okay, practically speaking, we don't concentrate in remediating low vulnerabilities. We concentrate in critical and highs. Anybody in the room do something different? Being honest. Do you concentrate in medium vulnerabilities? Do you focus, do you tell your security team to focus on low vulnerabilities? There is another conceptual problem. Low vulnerabilities are classified by the SIEM, Tenable. And we use Tenable, and I love Tenable. I love Tenable. I'm not part of the Tenable thing. It was the first presentation by Cassie. Tenable, like other SIEMs, are awesome, but those are classified by an application. And if the question becomes, okay, buddy, you put me against the rope, and now who's going to classify that? The application. So we have to trust the application 100%. But this is the concept of zero trust. You said that VPN is secure. Your job is to prove that it's not secure. If you cannot prove it, keep going, keep trying, because it's not secure. The same happened here, okay? So those are the benefits of quantum. And again, we are using quantum. In USA, we have an atomic clock that was released to the public that was done by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, in 2024. And the atomic clock that we developed in US used quantum technology. So this perspective that quantum is coming in the next 150 years, no, man, it's here. And we use another things. We use other computers. When I say we, it's not only USA, other countries as well. Okay, so quantum is here. It's not popular, no. When I began working in computer, I never see a computer with a hard disk until I saw the first IBM. It was monochromatic, and everybody say, wow, what the crap is that? The computer with a hard disk? Today, all of these type of things are normal. Okay, the same is happening with quantum. We are using quantum, but it's not popular, it's not known, but it's here. And we have our responsibility is to protect our environment, organizations, infrastructure from now. If you wait to the moment that quantum becomes popular, all your data is going to be compromised in practice. Okay? So, other perception or misperception. You are encrypting everything, every single stage. By the way, every single time that you encrypt, you are including a delay in the process. Cybersecurity means delay. There is no way, it doesn't exist, that you can secure something without including a delay, because there are checking process. Every single time you check, the something, application, system, network, have to stop for a second. Hi, buddy, in order for you to go from here to the bathroom, I need to scan you. Okay, and this scan me, stop here before I go to pee, means an additional delay. But we don't consider that. We just want to go to the bathroom. Okay, cybersecurity means money and means delay. No exceptions. It's no exceptions. So now the AI. Oh, AI accelerate the process 100%. There is zero discussions about that. The visibility never compared with anything existing before. 100% true. But again, I'm trying to approach the conversation from the negative standpoint and not for what we know. So in the other side, modern enterprise leak intelligence through fully encrypted ecosystems. Why? Because we have the digital traces behind. The hardware operates in a different manner. You use it, there is something that is a residual component. Okay, so we have multiple type of SIEMs. I mentioned one. We have EDR telemetry. The topic of EDR was approached before. So the trust chain is not only the concept of zero trust. People are not talking about the CTN concept. We put that just in a paper. There are multiple people using that as well. Okay? We have the opportunity to observe what is happening. AI tools usually offer a lot of metrics, a lot of reporting, have a lot of visibility in our environment. Okay, so this is something to consider as well. So in the positive, the quantum-enabled analytics will be accelerate the correlation process. reveal hidden relationship, predict future behavior. This is going to be really predictive, amplify exposure, and the little box at the end, remember the positive is in the right side, quantum capable system. Okay, quantum capable system will not decrypt the data. They are going to understand the enterprise. This is already happening today. Every single time you ingest data into an AI solution, this is what you are doing, sharing data with the AI solution. Okay, this is the AI. It's an interesting thing. Okay, so we have over there this, between other things. I'm just trying to be general, and I use that as a reference. You have the source code, the internal architecture, the incident response data, the prompt interaction. As much sophisticated as you come with the prompt in AI, the most data you are sharing. Now you want to construct a doc in ChatGPT, a doc, 4 patas, wow, DOG. And you say, okay, I want my dog to have blue eyes, this, and your prompt becomes sophisticated. You are teaching the tool, training is the proper terminology, you are training the tool how the logs may look like, at least for you. Okay, so this is a humongous problem. In the positive, artificial intelligence driving output include the strategic insight, the architecture reconstructions, the threat intelligence, behavior profile, and predictive advantage. So organizations are training external intelligence systems using their own strategic asset. I'm going to ask you a question, don't respond from your end. When you go to ChatGPT, when one of your developers go to ChatGPT and ask for help with the code, what are they doing? Not only training the AI, you are draining your data. We cannot go against AI in any ways, but I'm going to tell you something. Take care of your developers. Your developers handle the equation. It's not more the network guy. Your developers handle the equation. As they become more sophisticated with the prompt, asking for help, or you want to create a PowerPoint for your management, right? And you want to look great in front of everybody. You are sharing a lot of data. This is pretty dangerous. Here I have the last one. Post-quantum ready is becoming a marketing level. My solution is quantum resistant. Who the crap tests your solution if you don't have a quantum system to test the solution you are proposing? So how your solution can be quantum ready if you don't have the technology to prove your algorithms or your solution? It's a question for you to ask, not for me, to fight on that. So we have a weak telemetry governance. We have metadata leakage that remains, persistent authentication tokens, the SaaS trust relationship, and artificial intelligence ingestion path remain poorly governed. We have this problem in reality. In the positive side, we have the data minimization by design. This is how things will be working better. Zero trust, identity and content hardening, control of everything we do, what happened in the SaaS, least privilege. This is the most important thing, is access control. We are failing on that in multiple points at the operation. Artificial intelligence and data governance. And finally, how you construct a quantum resilient by architecture system. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, so you have to start today. And in the quantum era, exposure is the vulnerability, architecture is the defense. Before I close, because I have been talking about quantum, giving you some ideas, if you have any questions about quantum, you can reach out now or at any moment. But I mentioned something about the countries. Okay, so somebody was talking about replicas in the second presentation, I guess, today. So this is about replica, the positive part. The replica allows you to see the authentication behavior you are using, the decision chain reconstructions, the workflow predictability. Now they are also proactive as you want to be in your operation, the anomaly and risk discovery, and its behavior-based forecasting. Every single time you go to the cloud, you operate from the cloud, financial institution, you are leaving things behind. From the other end, I'm collecting this data. From the quantum standpoint, easy to correlate. You are making my life easier. Okay? The quantum thing, as I said, is becoming pretty close. you have the opportunity to act now. This is what we want to do. Okay, so you have to be state of the attackers, etc. The attackers today looks different face, different methods. Okay, hacking today, people say there are multiple AI hacking tools that you can use open source. Of course they are. But if you don't know the thing, you are KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So the matter is not that the tools exist, it's if you know how to use the tools in your favor. And what you don't want to do is wait and risk data harvested is secret today, decrypted beyond control, irreversible damage, and the trust forever is going to be a big problem. So in other words, quantum computing is the next coming. I say from the popular standpoint, the threat is real, the Windows is now, and this is, I'm pretty sure you are pretty familiar with that. This is our recommendation from the government standpoint to the private sector. We are highly regulated. We must follow NIST, but you do not in the private sector. If you are in the health, then you have HIP, etc. But this is the special publication that I suggest that you take a look at. From the cryptographic standpoint, this is part of what we are doing from the Quantum Committed, okay? The publication is open for comments until June 16. It was just recently open. Dedicate some time to that. Try to contribute with your expertise to what we are trying to accomplish as a country, because we have a lot of people working behind this. And just a 1 second presentation. Those are the people that handle quantum in the planet, okay? This guy here is the president. He's from South Korea. Those are the people that handle quantum. So when you talk about quantum, we are post-quantum ready. Who the crap told you that you are post-quantum ready? Who? No, really. Who told you that? My AI solution is quantum ready. Okay, good luck, buddy. We don't know about your solution. But again, those are the people. This is me right there in the middle. The one close to me is China. Again, we compete in multiple things. We cooperate in other. We do science. We do hardware. We do electronic together. Okay? This is the official 10 members of the U.S. delegation. Okay? 3 from the private sector, and this guy. Do you hear about Cisco? Cisco. Do you hear about the Cisco devices? This doctor here is the one that created Cisco, the one that invented Cisco. He created similar to Steve Wozniak. He is the guy that created Cisco. He invented government, Microsoft, Google. He's the lead of our team. So those are the people that talk about quantum on your behalf at the international level. Okay? So I hope that when you walk out, just question everything I said. This is what I want for you to do. Ask yourself if you are doing what is needed to be secure. From the practical standpoint, be practical. In multiple cases, cybersecurity is a check mark. So we just want to check the box. Are you encrypting? Yes. At rest? Yes. My browser is secure? Yes. Who the crap told you that your browser is secure? Probably secure, but who told you? Your people, the assessment team, the hacking team? Is going to be secure for the rest of the next 2 years? How you know that? Working in cybersecurity is a nightmare. It's my passion. It's what I have been doing for 42 years. This is my life. I can, even if I don't stand up, I will start crying here. I love IT as I cannot explain with words. This is my life, like yours, but it's my passion. We are not secure, and our responsibility is to protect the environment in which we operate the best as we can. And keep in mind, you don't eliminate things, buddy. We minimize. Okay? Were you able to handle? I was able to. Do you still have the virus to say something? I was able to. For how long? put the words always in the conversation. Yes, I was able to mitigate the problem. I don't know for how long. Be smart. Don't say, this is gone forever. I secure the environment. We secure the environment. Securing the environment is in a snapshot. Today, the environment is secure. Tomorrow, I don't know. Thank you so much for your time. Again, I catch you up during lunchtime, but I hope the conversation brings some brainstorm for yourself. Walk out thinking that quantum is here and that we have the responsibility to protect our environment, to design our architecture from the moment that become public. Okay? These are not theoretical things. Thank you so much.